Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first live stream for the Chroma Awards. My name is Maddie. I am one of the producers of the Chroma Awards. I'm leading community partnerships and dialogue, and I'll be co-hosting our live streams along with Davis, who will join us shortly. The Chroma Awards is a global AI Olympics of film, music, and games, and our mission is to improve accessibility to AI tools, remove barriers to entry, and showcase how this medium can empower creators. To accomplish this, we're producing an online creator competition with free sponsored trials and over $150,000 in cash prizes, as well as fostering the creative community of AI creators with education, live streams, and in-person events. So we're really excited to share all this with you all today and over the next few months over this first season. We're live streaming right now over YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn, but we'll be answering questions later on. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them into the YouTube chat. So to kick us off, let's first start with watching our announcement video, which was made by the awesome Wonder Studios, as well as our competition trailer, which was made by Florio AI.
It begins with a spark, a burst of light in the dark, a question before the answer. From that spark came fire. Story, carved in stone and passed through time. Symbols became words. Words sparked revolutions. The world changed. Culture was born. We gathered, we performed, and then voices carried across continents. Images flickered. Dreams were projected into reality. Then, again, everything changed. The internet arrived. Creation exploded. Games, films, the rules bent. And now, we stand at the edge of a new era of technology.
A moment to make our mark!
No gatekeepers, no borders, no excuses.
Just raw passion.
Talent and drive.
This is your shot!
It's your time.
This is the Chroma Awards. It begins. Introducing the Chroma Awards, a groundbreaking AI film, music, and games competition. Organized by the top companies and communities across tech, media, and entertainment, we are offering massive free trials and cash prizes to unite creatives across the world with tools, education, and real-world opportunities. Enter one of our 3 main divisions and submit your work to be judged by our expert jury. The Chroma Awards isn't just a competition, it's a movement. Our mission is to educate, empower, and spotlight the next generation of artists and showcase how AI can empower human creativity, not replace it. Join us today at ChromaAwards.com and help us push the boundary of creativity together.
All right. So again, that first video is made by Wonder Studios, awesome team there, and the second video is made by Florio AI, which are one of our sponsors. So please check them out. All right, we're gonna intro the team behind the Chroma Awards now. So let me bring them all in. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
All right. Hi. All right. So we've been working on this for quite a few months now. So it's exciting to finally put faces to handles and usernames and really introduce ourselves to the community. So let's go one by one. Introduce yourself. What do you do for the Chroma Awards? As well as what are you most excited about for this first season of the competition?
Cool. Maybe we
I want
can
to start with
go.
Maddie.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can go clockwise. So, hey everyone, I'm Maddie Shimura. I was the founder of the Project Odyssey competition, and now I've joined ElevenLabs to lead the Chroma Awards. So, we've brought together a great team of past competitors, people who've been working in this industry, who really to design a competition by creators for creators. So I'm trying to manage all the different parts of it and make sure that we have a great competition where there are a lot of fun prizes and opportunities, and it really pushes things into the mainstream. I think our goal of the competition is to unify the companies, creators, and communities across the space, where instead of us tearing each other down, maybe there's a better way for us to work together and build each other up and show best in class content and talent and opportunity across the board. So I'll pass it over to Brogan next. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Hi, I'm Brogan, and I am one of the members of the Chroma team for the Chroma Awards. It's been great being able to work with everyone, including Matt, our glorious leader, who I don't know if you guys noticed this, but on the stream, it's like your light from your square is like radiating onto everyone else here. Like I'm side lit, and then Maddie's like, what is? Anyways, but yeah, it's been fantastic being able to build this out, construct it. I was a participant in um, under for Project Odyssey season 2, and it was a great experience. And I thought, man, that would be really awesome to be able to do that, but on the back end of it, and really create something really, really great. So I'm excited to see what other people are going to make, because I think it's just going to be fantastic. Um, Davis, I guess you're up.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Davis, and I'm part of the team, and I'm leading for like judging. When everything comes to like judging, I'll be hands-on, and also the behind the scenes. And I was also a participant and prize winner for the past 2 seasons. So it's a great honor to join the team and being able to see what comes next for all the creators out there. So nice to see you guys. I'll pass on to Claire.
Hi, my name is Claire Xue. I was marketing director at Project Odyssey, working with Maddie Shimura. I am now working on brand partnerships and influencer outreach for Chroma Awards. Really excited to partner with different companies and influencer creators for this season, and I'm really looking forward to see this season unfold, because it is going to be the biggest AI film competition awards to date. So watch out, the world, we're coming for you. Pass it along to Fred.
Hey guys, really honored to be amongst these people that I've been spending a lot of time with over the last couple of years, and me and my co-founder Min Do, who might be joining us any second now. We've been working on the machine cinema side of all things, and that's where we saw this huge opportunity to join this effort to kind of really continue our mission. There has always been about how do we reach more people and sort of share more opportunities and learn from more people and continue that education process. I've also been pivoting into more and more of a role as an educator. I'm teaching at Chapman University, the cinematic AI class there. So that's very much a walk the walk moment for what I'm very literally responsible for doing with this team. That I'm working on how do we reach universities, how do we reach students to submit and participate, and really kind of continue that outreach of how we're sort of intersecting with sort of the youngest creative minds, and as much as possible also following through with their competitive efforts being rewarded with opportunities, whether it's internships or sort of growth in this growing space. So to me, this is such a great application for things that are so important to me in terms of how, yes, creativity is amazing. Yes, being a part of this is amazing, but it's really exciting to see people grow and sort of build their own personal careers in this space too. So I'm proud to be a part of that.
Yeah, and speaking of global community in machine cinema, Mindo, is also part of our team, and he is unable to join our stream because he's flying around the world right now. So there's a lot going on in terms of building our global community here. So for the Chroma Awards, it's not just the competition, it's also the community events, education, as all of us have talked about. Maddie, you sort of came towards all this with this idea. What made you want to start this competition?
Yeah, for me, it was being hands-on as a creator, where I had started in kind of mid 2023 playing around with Stable Diffusion, and I was doing the creator grind, was doing, one video a day, and, wasn't getting the traction I wanted because the opportunities within the ecosystem weren't there. Where the companies were putting out these amazing tools, but they didn't really understand the creators, the people who were hands-on using them from these different backgrounds or who are first time people who had never before gotten that chance to make films, make music videos, make games. And so I saw this competition as a perfect opportunity where it brings all of those together on an egalitarian, fair playing field. Because I think one of the strongest benefits of AI is that it's for everyone. It can be creative, it can empower your abilities. So it shouldn't matter where you live or how much money you have or if you've gone to film school or who you know. It should be your abilities as a creator, your idea, and your ability to bring it to life. So, with this model of the Olympics, we like to use it as thinking about all these companies as countries. They're sending their best talent, they're sending their free trials and creative partners and prizes. And it's the showdown of, when all of that is made available, just like we can buy tools, these subscriptions and tools already. But when it's free access to the tools, when it's these big crash prizes and legitimate companies who are attached to it, giving a lot of good reputation and publicity. How can we push this into the mainstream and how can we make it more accessible for all types of creators?
Yeah, inspiring. So feel free, anyone in the chat, to ask questions for anyone on our team here. We're going to go through an overview of the competition now. Okay, so here we are with the Chroma Awards Season 1. Each of our missions and goals. Number 1 is creativity and fostering our community of creators. I really love that this, as Maddie stated, is a competition that's by and for creators. So we're really here for you and connecting these our creators with the tools and industry through making the tools accessible and providing education and free trials on these tools, as well as the cash prizes, which are always great. And speaking of, we have 25 different categories across film, music, and games. Across those different categories, we'll have cash prizes for each,
Yeah.
ranging from
And to jump in there because there was some confusion. Music is really music video. We had thought about wanting to do songs, but just the volume of submissions was going to be too complex to judge fairly. So we've made it into music videos, and we want to have all just like the Chroma name. It's this whole spectrum of modalities of ways people like to create. Filmmaking is not just black and white. It's not just narrative. It's not just music videos. We want to provide that whole range to showcase the best talent in each of those different offerings.
yeah, and it's music videos, and it's music for music videos for music there we would like you to have access permissions to use the music. Or you can make your own music using AI, using ElevenLabs also, if you want. So within our different categories, we have over $150,000 in cash prizes distributed across both prizes for each of the individual categories as well as sponsored prizes. So our rules require you to only submit for your project for a single category, but you will also be automatically eligible for certain sponsored cash prizes by either our tool sponsors or our community sponsors.
Yeah,
Maddie, anything to add on
yeah,
that?
and to chime in there, I think we, don't want to restrict creativity. We want to let people use whatever tools that they have access to. We don't provide any for the main categories. However, for this title, gold, silver sponsor, so the prizes specifically for a tool, you do have to use that tool to be eligible. It's like bounties in a hackathon, and they're not mutually exclusive. Where you're it just makes you eligible for these extra cash prizes if you so choose to compete. But in the main categories, you can use whatever you want, whether they're sponsors, whether they're not sponsors, whether it's AI, whether it's not AI. There's really no limitation as long as you use at least one AI tool in a significant way. We don't say how significant, whether it's a percentage or the use case, but we will ask for some proof. For example, we don't want you to just submit a regular film and say AI was used and then that maybe that wasn't the case. So please be honest in your submissions. Please tag the tools that you're going to use because that'll make you eligible for these extra prizes. And hopefully there are a lot of different opportunities and you can win both. You can win one of the main film categories and you can also win the ElevenLabs first or second prize. So it's just more opportunities to win and get paid.
Yeah. And you can try any of our free trials as well throughout the trial period, which starts in September. So you can make any choice on which tools you want to use. And speaking of our sponsors, we have a variety of different sponsors all across the AI tool space, as well as the industry, distribution, and community space as well. So, like I said, we'll have free trials starting in September, and those will all be launched on our website to access.
Yeah, and these will usually be 1 month free trials. Something to be aware of is many of them you do have to enter a credit card info. So, please be aware of that. On month 2, it might auto renew. So make sure you're cognizant of it. If you want to stay with the service, great. If you want to not stay with it, that's your choice too. But for that 1 month, you'll get it completely free. Also, some other call outs here. We've recently brought on Google Cloud within the past couple days. And we're really excited to have them and showcase VO and Flow and their variety of different tool sets and a bunch of other amazing sponsors across the board at all levels. We'll be producing a video that goes into each of them in more detail. And one other point I wanted to mention is we are accepting submissions made from February 1st of 2025. So it doesn't just have to be in the competition submission window. That's when, kind of our cutoff date is. So as long as it's made after February 1st, 2025, even if it's before the November 3rd deadline, that's totally fine. And you can submit it to the competition as long as it follows our other rules and criteria.
Yeah, so going straight into timeline. Like we said, trials open in September. That's also when the submission window opens as well. But like Maddie just mentioned, you don't have to make your submission within that window. It could have been made anytime between February 2025 to the end of the submission window, which is November 3rd this year. And from then on, we'll go into our judging period, which includes multiple rounds of judging from preliminary, where we'll choose the top 25 for each category, and then going on from there, the top 3 for each category, as well as sponsor winners. And we'll do a live stream on December 7th and celebratory event to celebrate the winners of the awards. Yeah, Rogan, already partying. So, how can we stay connected throughout this period? Like I said, The Chroma Awards is really not just a competition, but also building a global community of AI creatives. So starting with live streams, we'll be streaming Mondays and Wednesdays going forward, on 7 p.m. Monday Pacific time and 12 p.m. Wednesday Pacific time, hoping to catch all of our lovely global time zones. We'll be doing Q&A during those live streams, as well as being on guests from our sponsors, as well as different creators and industry personnel that we love to spotlight in this space. So feel free to join those, have fun, and ask questions. And we'll also be doing events from now until December, mostly screenings, socials, as well as Gen Jams hosted by Machine Cinema. Fred, what's the next event happening that people should know about?
Like the regular calendar for Machine Cinema. We have a big event that actually Chroma is a big part of supporting here in Los Angeles on September 7th, which is a Sunday during the daytime. So we're breaking a few of our rules where we like to do nighttime, weekday. This time we're doing weekend, daytime. But we're partnered with Byron Miller and Miller Tech Talk, as well as King Wallonius himself as a sort of legendary AI artist and musician. It's going to be probably one of our biggest music and music video events. It's a music video challenge, so we're really leaning into that. But it's we're at the Regent Theater in Los Angeles, which is an old movie palace that's converted into multi-purpose, but it's such a cool space. We're gonna have a marquee, and there's a giant LED screen. So that event's gonna be amazing. And anybody anywhere near LA, we'd love you to sign up, and we can share the invite link. We have another event towards the end of September, which we're in discussion on at Cartel Studios, where we're going to be exploring AI ads, but probably fake ones, which are the most fun kind. Although maybe we'll get a real sponsor on that and do real ads, but they're more fun when they're make-believe. But we have a whole Machine Cinema calendar. We have events in New York and San Francisco, and then increasingly, my co-founder Mindo, he's doing a whole bunch of traveling all over Europe. So you will hear a lot more from us as you follow us on socials. But we will be happily using those as environments to hear a lot about Chroma and also to find ways to onboard.
And if you want to find out the RSVP links to these events, if you go to the website chromaawards.com, and then you just go to the little menu bar, you can find our events tab, and it has the Luma links to the streams, to these other events. You'll be able to stay connected all through that website.
Actually, I neglected. There's August 29th coming up even sooner. We have a big event in Lisbon, in Portugal. And all of these are beginners welcome, by the way. I think that's kind of our whole energy on this stuff, and really why we are so identify with what's going on with Chroma. This is all meant to be a welcome mat for creativity. So while it's also a home for people that just continue to refine their skills, in a lot of ways those become your co-creators, the way that our small teams form, so we're excited about the Lisbon events, and then the New York one, we have a fashion jam coming up as well, where we're doing with fearless artists the eco chic storytelling jam. It's where we're really trying to explore other sectors, not just filmmaking and creativity in that sense, but also design and fashion and art. New York's been such an exciting community for us to really start exploring these things. Here in LA, we take for granted that everybody wants to make movies, but in New York, we really get to see this even more expansive. Although there's people now, I don't want to make LA people mad too. We do cool stuff here in LA besides movies. It's just heavy movies. New York, we're getting to see a lot of the other dimensions too.
And also to shout out Dreamina and CapCut, who are two of our title sponsors. They will be running these Chroma meetups in September 4th in Paris, if you're in Paris, September 12th in Los Angeles, September there's a New York one too. Let me check the New York is September 9th, LA is September 12th, and Tokyo is September 22nd. And then they'll be doing some great lightning talks, demos of their tools, and you can come and hang out and meet other people in your city. So all of that is on the events calendar. We'll work with the Machine Cinema guys to put up some of those other events on there too, and you can all check that out.
Yeah, the last one I would add is we have a climate Gen Jams, where we're also really interested in these opportunities to work with Impact Org. So we have on September 27th in New York, we're working with Reimagine Immersive, which is a really awesome partner with Anatol Aruba, that we're doing some really cool climate stories. So a lot, and we'll share the calendar with all the individual events.
Great. And again, for all these updates, you can find them on our website, chromaawards.com. We're also available on socials, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok as @Chroma Awards. And I think most people watching this are probably on our Discord server. If not, join our Discord server. The link to that is on our website, as well as the subreddit r/Chroma Awards, where you'll be free to chat with each other, share what you're working on as well. So let's answer some questions. We'll go back to the streaming room here. Okay, so the first question, which maybe we should have started out with, but with your intro, Fred, but you talked a lot about machine cinema. Can you explain a little bit about who you are and what you do and how it's related to Chroma Awards?
Sure, and I think Min might be in the backstage area just in case you're able to bring anybody else up. But at least he's texting me on the side. But Min and I, we met in New York. Excuse me, we met in LA. God, my brain needs more sleep. We met in LA in a few different professional settings pre this kind of amazing moment that we're all a part of and expressing with this event with AI. We sort of started kind of tapping into our peer group of creatives and technology people, and there's this really interesting mix of people that, frankly, in a lot of cases, were out of work during the writer strikes here in LA and actor strikes, and a lot of people were just in a tinkering mindset. We were just getting together in backyards and living rooms with laptops out, and that kind of started snowballing into meeting up with like our friends and allies at AILA with Todd Terrazas. We started doing events with them, and these things just started to evolve into this format that's become this kind of core experience that we love sharing everywhere we go. Min's literally in the process of sprinkling those AI apple seeds as far as we can go all over Europe and Asia and South America soon. But there are these events where we invite people of all levels. And I think Maddie and Davis and Brogan and Claire and Maddie, we've all shared these moments together. So you guys are welcome to finish my sentences. But we start off with a tutorial. We lead with some type of theme, whether it's like we're making a music video or we're making a fake ad or we're making a short film, or sometimes we're doing very experimental things. But we introduce the tutorial. We kind of use that as a learning space. We kind of use that as a place to introduce a sequence of tools. And that's really the big thing. I think a lot of people who are new to this, that there is this increasing intimidation factor of just how many things there are to keep up with. And we really try to use our events as a place to start people off with some floaties jumping into the pool. And then eventually we take off the floaties and we learn how to swim. And then we get people to join into teams of 3 or 4, and they're able to kind of co-learn and co-create. And that's sort of where we're starting to reinvent the film set. It's this idea that we have this acronym AIRL of like, how are we subverting that sort of meme that's out there, that the internet's a lonely place and everybody's just becoming more lonely with this stuff. In fact, we think we've started to discover this really new feeling in these community settings. And then how do we actually reinvent the movie set with these tools? How are people wearing new hats? How are they collaborating differently? It's all very experimental, and I think we're still seeing surprises. And that's where I get so much out of this, is how much I learn from these processes.
I think that's the wonderful thing about AI too, is people often criticize it as being cold and soulless and heartless, and these people are don't know art and don't appreciate art, and but everyone I've met in the community has been warm and welcoming. They want to share their techniques. They want to team up with people. They want to go out for a drink and just hang out and get to meet new friends. I think that's some of the most warm and authentic and wonderful people I've met through this community and the machine cinema community. So, that's really what we're trying to foster with the Chroma Awards, is working with global communities, working with all these places so we can, move forward positively and not have it be so toxic as it often is online. Really trying to spotlight the real people behind the process, the love and craft and passion that they're putting into these projects. So we're really excited for all of you to participate. Maddie, were there some more of those other? I can do some lightning. I've been responding in the chats, but I can do some lightning Q&A if that's okay.
Yeah. Do you want to call out some of the responses that you've been putting in the chats?
Sure. So, aspect ratio, why is it limited to 16 by 9 or, 9 by 16 for short form? That's, more of a guideline. I think it's because we'll be editing all them together. As long as it can be posted on YouTube, you can add the black bars. But if you're a winner, we're going to edit it all together, and it's going to have to be in 16 by 9 or 9 by 16 format at the end anyway. So, um, uh, it's just easier to standardize some of the judging process. So if you can do it, great. If not, we're not really going to take off too many points. It's just mainly to try and get people to make something more standardized. Let's see. Let me run through some of these other ones. No submission limit. You can submit as many things as you want. We actually prefer, we're trying, that's one of our important metrics. We would prefer if you submit a lot, but one note is you can't submit the same thing for multiple categories. So each submission has to be unique. No limits on teams, no limits on tools, except for the sponsor awards where you do have to use their tools. You'll be submitting via a social media link. So you're not going to upload your video to our platform. You're just going to submit your YouTube or whatever link. So it has to follow the guidelines of that platform. And like we said, you can submit it all the way back. If you made a video from February onwards, you can submit that YouTube link and that'll be eligible and valid.
And you don't have to choose one sponsor award per submission, right? But it is just one category, like one of the film, music, or game categories per submission, but it can be eligible for whatever tools that you use for those sponsor awards.
Exactly. Yeah, you can select the one category you're applying to, and then you can be eligible for ElevenLabs, Dreamina, CapCut, Google Cloud, Freepik, FAL, etc. And you can win multiple of those awards. Music, we're gonna have someone asked about music. We're gonna have the ElevenLabs music model. You'll have a bunch of free credits to use that in your music videos. You don't have to travel to participate. It's all online and global. But some of the machine cinema events are in person. So for those city-based ones, yes, you have to be in person. We have these experimental open categories. So we've tried to have the most popular, the top hits for the main categories, but there's always edge cases. There are always miscellaneous or things that are just outside of whatever the most popular categories are. We've tried to make those, limit those within a certain degree because to make the prize money goes as far as possible and have the most number of entries. But if your film doesn't fit into one of those, or your game or your music video, that's why we have the experimental and open category. How do we prove which tools we used? So you tag it in the submission. If you make it to the final tool selection, we're going to ask you for, some screenshot or your account or something. The BTS really does help. I'd say if you make, we have BTS as its own separate category. Brogan actually won the third place in BTS before. That's the sponsors will be looking at that, and that's a really great way to showcase how you use the tools, who you are as an artist. We'll also have a little section where you can add an artist statement. So you can say, this is how I use the tools. If you don't want to make a full behind the scenes video, but we recommend you do. I think it's honestly my favorite category, just to see the real people behind it.
I think it's a lot of people's favorite category, especially sponsors love to see how people are using the tools.
Yeah. And especially for people who are hiring too. We're going to have a lot of industry people from different creative agencies, studios, who are not fully public about their AI usage, right? But they want to hire people from the competition. And so being able to show that you know your stuff, that you're able to deliver, what your experience and background is, that's really, really helpful. Is there a cheat sheet? So the website has all of if you go to the ChromaAwards.com website, you can look at film, music video, or games. And each of those subdivisions has their own slightly different rules and categories, whether it's time limit, whether it's things that we're looking for. So make sure you check that out before you submit and make sure you're following those rules. Yeah, well, VO is a sponsor, so VO is just the model, right? But Google Cloud is part of the company. It's one pillar within Google. There's DeepMind. They have a lot of different ones going on, but we're working most closely with Google Cloud. No max submissions per category. Yeah, Google has its own title prize pool, as do all the other sponsors we have listed on the website. If you look at the prize page, some sponsors are at different levels, but maybe they don't have a tool, so they're not offering a prize. Let's see.
While you're looking at other questions, let's touch on the specific category rules. I know, like Brogan Davis, worked really closely to fine tune those rules, and not just the requirements for the submissions, but also what we're looking for in a great submission. So, do you want to talk a little bit about your reasoning there?
Yeah, sure.
Are you able to screen share any of those pages, Maddie, on the website?
I can work on that if
Or
you
maybe I
want
can. Let's see. Maybe I can do it. Let's try it out. Did it say?
Oh yeah, I see it. Want to head over to the website?
Cool. So, Brogan, you want to narrate us through this?
Sure. Although I do want to say, when we were doing that, there was also another person in the room there. A little somebody who's currently running the stream. Maddie.
Oh, right.
That was great. Davis, we can walk through this, but yeah, let me pull up the guidelines directly on my own computer right now, so I can be
I have
looking
it
at
screen
it.
shared on my screen. If you're able
Okay.
to see it.
Very, very tinily. Actually, let me full screen this. But yeah, all of our different categories have different sort of guidelines and rules. Um, a lot of really, really interesting ones, like the short form and microdrama. There are, though, specific requirements. So, like, for example, the short form and social, I believe it is, you'll notice that it mentions it has to be aspect ratio 9:16, and it has to be under 120 seconds. Those are some of the more specific ones. So in the case of, for example, the question of, oh, I have it in 21:9, right? You're probably not going to be submitting it to the social form, or short form uh, category, right?
Or microdrama.
You'll probably be putting it more into one of the other categories. So just be cognizant of that. The rules are listed. There's general guidelines, and then there's the specific guidelines, right? So, making sure that you're staying within, we do not want to see anything that would not pass muster on YouTube, right? We do not want anything that's not going to be uh, acceptable, and get you in trouble, but also get ourselves in trouble. You can see some of the ones on there, right? You have to be using music that you have rights to, right? That's a big one, so that you don't get DMCA'd and we don't get DMCA'd either. um, and you can go down the list on this. There's a lot of really great places, whether you're making music with AI or you're getting stock music online. Um, I'll just give an example of myself. When I submitted a bunch of my stuff, including my BTS, I got stock music at the time from a stock music website. And that was hugely beneficial, because then you're not having to go and worry about, oh my gosh, I got to go do this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Now it's probably even easier, because you'll have access to ElevenLabs, and you'll be able to make amazing music that way. So,
Yeah.
um,
And
yeah.
a couple other shout outs there. These are general buckets. There's overlap, right? If you make an animation thing, it could be a horror animation, or it could be a trailer for a sci-fi movie. Use your best judgment. We're not going to police it too much, but try to fit within the categories as much as you can. But of course, there's overlap. Similar for the music video categories, we say it's pop and Asia pop. But if you want to have Latin pop, if you want to have Afro pop, if all of those kind of fit within that category, whereas rap and rap and hip hop, you could potentially have R&B, you could have soul in there. Just kind of use your judgment overall. Yeah.
I would also add too something that we are really passionate about is we want to see a great story, right? We want to see something really really cool. So whatever it is you're doing, bring that awesomeness. So because you know that is something that we 100% are always fascinated to see. Not only how you are going to be able to show us and emotionally entice us, but also hopefully you make something that's motivating and incredible and compelling as well
Yeah.
for everyone else.
Yeah, and speaking of that, so Frontier Model had asked about the drama romance category. We're just bucketing them into, it could be a drama that's not, it doesn't have to have any, I think we specified that on the website too. It doesn't have to have any romantic element. It could be, a personal story of you going through loss. It could be, a video essay. Those are both kind of combined because they have similar themes. Just for example, like sci-fi and fantasy, they're not exactly the same, but usually film distributors, they group them because the audience are similar, the creators are similar. So choose whatever you best believe in. Censorship guidelines, we accept films made about dark subject matter, adult topics, right? We don't want NSFW stuff, in terms of super explicit stuff, but we can have action, we can have blood, or things that you'd see, as long as it can go on social media, it can go in the competition. And sometimes social media can go a little too far with it, but stay classy, keep it tasteful. We're the competition is 18 and above, so it's all adults here. But don't go too graphic or too explicit, or things that are pushing the boundary. A little edgy is fine, but the sponsors, right, they want films to represent the best aspects of that. So just keep that in mind. Oh yeah, shout out to some people in the chat. We got Meta Puppet. Meta Puppet is a awesome competitor who won. Maddie, right? You competed head to head in the Culver Cup.
Yeah, and now he's at Promise leading some
Yeah.
great stuff
Yeah.
there. So it's really awesome to see just the trajectory of creators going from these creator competitions to now, heading their own studios. So it's really a testament to how fast moving this race is. And how if you are at the heart of it, just like a great storyteller, the tools come secondary. What's at the forefront should be story. And I think people like Meta Puppet prove that that's how you can grow and get ahead in this space.
Yeah. And even beyond visuals, think about those underlying skills. The tools are always going to change. They're changing day to day, week to week. But editing, pacing, sound design, those are all really important things to elevate your film. And from, in the past competition, I think there was 4,593 entries. I watched every single one of them, and that was a big differentiator in terms of the production value, the editing. You can have the most amazing visuals, but if your audio and your sound is falling, it's neglected, then it's not, realistically, it probably won't win. So you have to think about all of those different aspects of creating that great experience as a whole and as a unit. Um, and think about what skills you want to develop. I think it's a competition. So of course there's the prizes and the cloud at stake, but I wouldn't say that's the end goal. I would think about this as an opportunity to play around with the tools, experiment with the different storytelling skills, be able to tell the story that you want to make, where it's not based on likes, it's not based on social media following, it's not based on views, but it's all human reviewed. So within those constraints, make the best thing that you can, and if you win, great. But I don't think that should be your end goal. It's kind of a cherry on top, because I think if you affix too much value, or you hyperfixate on that, then I think getting it into it for the right reasons is important, of trying to push yourself as a creator, improve as an artist. And I think that's how we really move forward as an industry.
I
I
could.
just want to piggyback on Maddie about the sound design you mentioned. I think it's such an important aspect that a lot of people that I see from like just coming to the new AI world, they will kind of forget about the sound design and only focus on visual. Sound design is really, really important. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
could I speak for just a minute on that?
sure. And
So
Brogan, let me screen share, if I
sure.
can, the general judging criteria. Maddie, could you let me
Yeah.
take
Mhm.
over again? Cool. So if you go to our judging tab, right, all of those, the website's a little complex. There are a lot of moving parts. So apologies on that, but we really couldn't figure out a better way to do it. So the categories have these guidelines and requirements, but we also have just the criteria, how it'll be judged. So we'll have 5 criteria, all are going to be evenly weighted. You can find this on the judging page. And so, it kind of breaks down more specifically across categories. It's going to be the same ones generally. Yeah. So Brogan, if you wanted to talk about the sound design part.
I was gonna say that is like the one area too where, as a creator, it pushes you. So before anything AI related, I was a motion graphic designer. I had never done anything with sound ever, right? I had not done any sound design at all, and I had to start like sourcing from like freesound.org and like the early versions of ElevenLabs and stuff to get sound, right? And it really like expanded my capability as a creator and as a filmmaker to start thinking and considering like, oh, what are you doing? And never underestimate, right, what this stuff can do for you. I was kind of individually on my own as a creator last year, not really doing a whole lot, and I submitted a bunch of stuff to one of the prior competitions. And my last one that I submitted with literally 15 minutes left. It was my BTS for my one of my videos, and that ended up getting me fourth place. And then from there, I started meeting all these wonderful people. So that's an example, hopefully, for all of you, that like the ways that which one you're going to get interconnected, hopefully, with everyone else, but then also the ways that it pushes and expands you as a creator to learn and be like, oh, well, I didn't know sound design. Well, now I'm learning it. I'm getting to know more. Oh, wow, this is so cool. So cool.
Yeah, I think that's a great point that we really want to foster community where creators are helping each other. So share stuff that you're working on in the Discord, in Reddit, come to our meetups, talk to people. That's the best way you can grow as a creative in this field. And what's great about AI is that everybody is learning these tools for the first time. So there's that equalizing platform there. But maybe some people, we have people in our community who come from different backgrounds, different ways of life. Some of them have been professionals in Hollywood for years, in the film industry. Some of them are online influencers, creators, and some of them are just like people trying things out in their bedroom for the first time. So what's great about this community is that while everybody is at the same sort of playing field when it comes to the tools, you can definitely learn from people at different levels of experience and backgrounds.
Yeah, and I would say, the competition is for everyone. It's for both people who are creative veterans or first timers. We want to get everyone. You have a friend who wants to try it out for the first time. You have a parent, a sister, a grandpa. We really help. We would really appreciate if you could. We're launching this for the first time. We need your help to help share and amplify it and bring new competitors in. That really helps us out. Bringing more attention to it, more eyeballs, gives us honestly more negotiating power when it comes to these sponsors. If we're able to provide them with a bigger competition that has a bunch of great films, it has a lot of cool people attached to it, then that lets us give bigger prize pools. It lets us create some of these cool distribution opportunities, work with bigger companies. And we're planning to do this every 6 months. We want it to be a thermometer check of where the industry is at, but without burning out competitors, because we know everyone has busy lives. So, as a final note, I would just say, we really appreciate you joining your community. Please share it out. It really helps us out. So, we're really excited to kick things off on the first, and can't wait to see what you create, and try to push this forward together.
Yeah, I mean, piggybacking off of that, anybody can sign up for the trials, right? We're not going to make sure that because like you have to submit a certain amount because you signed up for our trials. Once those trials go live, anybody can go on a website and sign up. So share with anyone who has even just a mild interest in trying out these tools. Maybe they're not for sure going to enter something great, but maybe they make something fun in a few hours and they get to learn something, and that's a win there.
And I think the wonderful thing about AI is the speed of iteration. Uh, if you work on a traditional film set, maybe you work on 1 or 2 films in a year. But with AI, you can make 1 film. Maybe it's not the best thing ever, but you learn for it. I remember my first ever film I made in 4th grade for a book project. It was not very good, so to say. And I'm sure everyone has that same story, but through that process of doing it more and more, having that regular occurrence, and just being able to be committed to growing myself as a creator and as a filmmaker. What I want to see from people, what excites me more than the amazing ones, is the first timers. Because what happens when you get to your 5th film, when your 10th film, your 20th film? Maybe that's what really can turn into a cinematic universe, or you really find your groove. So like we said, for the free trials, it's open to everyone. Even if you just want to try it out, you don't need to submit anything. Of course, we encourage that. If you have all these free trials available, might as well submit your work to the competition. It helps us out, and share it on social media. But go with what your heart takes you, and that's what's most important at the end of the day.
Great. And on that note, oh, okay. Wait, there's one last question is how are games going to be judged?
Games are going to be judged by the same. So for games, it's going to be it's not going to be the video. You're going to have to upload a playable instance. So if it's going to be web hosted or on Rosebud AI, which is one of our sponsors, on their platform, r/games on Reddit, itch.io. So as long as it's playable on web, it's eligible. We're going to give it a playthrough. I would say don't make a game that takes 5 hours to complete. Keep it more within the 3 to 15-minute range, so we can manageably make our way through it. But similarly, with those criteria of sound design, interaction, does it apply, adhere to the theme? So a lot of those same criteria will be, with slight tweaks, but it'll apply generally. Trials
Great.
are released on September 1st, too. So be on the lookout. It might be end of day. It might not exactly be, first thing Monday morning, because we got a lot of work to do on that. But it'll be there eventually. So, no stress.
Just look, check it out on our website, ChromaAwards.com. All right, on that note, I want to thank the team for joining us, Maddie, Brogan, Fred, Davis, and Claire, and Min virtually as he's traveling. Thank you all for joining our live stream. Be sure to stay up to date with our newsletter, the Discord. You can ask any questions. Maddie and Brogan have been responding very heavily to questions there in Discord. And join us for the next live stream, which will be next Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day or evening, depending on where you're at.